Life has a way of whispering truths, and when we ignore them, it teaches through pain. The Buddha reminded us that awareness is what prevents suffering, yet most of us only awaken after life forces us to face what we didn't want to see. Today, we explore 6 painful lessons people understand only when it's almost too late. As you listen, notice which ones life has already tried to teach you, quietly or painfully. Lesson number 1. Not everyone will stay. One of the first painful lessons in life is realizing that not everyone who enters your world is meant to stay. The Buddha taught that all beings are passing travelers, souls crossing paths for moments, seasons, or chapters, each carrying their own journey, their own karma, their own direction. Pain begins when we expect permanence from people who are only meant to walk with us for a while. We hold tightly to friendships that slowly drift, relationships that lose warmth, connections that once felt certain but quietly fade, and when life pulls them away, we feel abandoned, when in truth, they were simply continuing their path. Think of someone you once shared everything with, someone who felt like a forever presence, and yet time, distance, or circumstance carried you apart. This is not failure. It is impermanence, the natural movement of life. Freedom comes when we stop clinging, when we can say, "I'm grateful you were here, and I release you without resentment." Cherishing without possession allows love to stay soft, not desperate. It allows people to come and go without breaking us. The lesson is simple but difficult. Not everyone will stay, but everyone teaches us something before they leave. Lesson number 2. Your mind creates most of your suffering. The Buddha once said, "Nothing can harm you as much as your own thoughts." It is a lesson most people realize far too late, that the true battlefield is not the world outside, but the mind within. We suffer not because events are unbearable, but because our thoughts replay them, magnify them, and turn them into stories that continue long after the moment has passed. Think about how often you've overthought something small until it became heavy. A short message with no emoji, a harmless silence, a tiny mistake at work. The mind catastrophizes, weaving entire narratives from a single seed of doubt. And before you know it, anxiety replaces clarity, fear replaces truth. Old stories haunt us too, memories of failure, guilt, or rejection. Even when life moves on, the mind clings to outdated versions of ourselves, keeping us trapped in a past that no longer exists. But here is the painful and liberating realization: peace is an inside job. You cannot always control what happens, but you can learn to guide your mind gently back to the present moment. When you observe your thoughts instead of becoming them, suffering softens. Awakening begins when you understand that your mind can be your cage, or your greatest source of freedom. Lesson number 3. You become what you repeatedly do. One of the most transformative lessons the Buddha taught is that our lives are built from the smallest moments. Thoughts become actions, actions become habits, habits become character, and over time, character becomes destiny. It's a truth many people understand only after years of repeating patterns that lead them somewhere they never intended to go. We often wait for motivation to change our lives, believing inspiration will shape our future. But the painful reality is this: discipline matters far more than motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is who you are becoming. Think of a simple example. Someone who says they want peace, yet spends every morning scrolling through negativity. Someone who wants clarity, yet fills their days with noise. Someone who wants a different life, but repeats the same routines day after day. Slowly, without noticing, they become the result of their choices. Every small action is a brushstroke painting the direction of your life. A few minutes of meditation each morning can reshape your mind. A small act of kindness can reshape your heart. A single disciplined habit can reshape your future. You don't become awakened all at once. You become awakened through the quiet, repeated choices you make every day. Lesson number 4, chasing approval leads to emptiness. One of the most heartbreaking lessons people learn too late is that chasing approval never fills the emptiness inside. The Buddha taught, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. Yet many of us live our lives as if our worth is something others must hand to us. We try to be liked, accepted, admired. We adjust our personalities in different rooms. We silence our truth to avoid judgment. We perform kindness to earn praise rather than to express who we are. And in the process, we drift further and further away from ourselves. The painful realization comes eventually. You can earn everyone's approval and still feel hollow. Because external validation is like a cup with a hole at the bottom. It cannot hold the weight of your identity. Maybe you've experienced this. Someone praises you and it feels good for a moment. Then it disappears. Someone dislikes you and suddenly your confidence collapses. This is what happens when your sense of self is built on shifting ground. Freedom begins when you return to your own inner worth, when you act from authenticity rather than performance, when you stop asking the world, am I enough, and start answering it from within. This is the moment emptiness transforms into peace. Lesson number 5, holding on hurts more than letting go. One of the Buddha's deepest teachings is simple yet difficult to embody. Attachment creates suffering. And most people only understand this truth after years of holding on to what is already trying to leave. We cling to people who have outgrown us, to identities we no longer fit, to expectations that collapse under their own weight. At first, holding on feels like safety, but over time, it becomes a quiet form of self-harm. Think of the moments when life whispered, "It's time to release," and yet, you tightened your grip. The relationship that drained you. The dream that no longer aligned with your heart. The person you used to be, whom you keep trying to resurrect. The harder you cling, the heavier everything becomes. The painful truth is this: letting go is not loss. It is liberation. It is the moment you stop fighting reality and begin flowing with it. It is the moment the heart stops bleeding from old wounds and can finally heal. It is the moment you step out of the past and into the life waiting for you now. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering over what you cannot control, release, and watch peace return. Lesson number 6. Time is the one thing you never get back. Of all the lessons people learn too late, this one is often the most painful. Time is the only thing you can never reclaim. The Buddha taught that the antidote to regret is presence, the ability to truly inhabit this moment, instead of postponing life for a future that never arrives. Yet look at how we spend our days, pleasing people who would never do the same for us, worrying about outcomes we cannot control, hesitating on dreams because of fear, doubt, or the illusion that there's still plenty of time. Years slip by quietly in this fog of unconscious living. Then suddenly, one day, you realize the truth. Life is not waiting for you. It moves with or without your participation. The miracle is that everything changes the moment you become conscious of each moment. When you stop rushing, when you stop delaying your happiness, when you stop treating your life as a rehearsal. The Buddha reminded us that each breath is a new beginning, and every moment is an opportunity to wake up. Time cannot be retrieved, but it can be honored, and the moment you start living fully in the now, your life begins to expand in ways you never imagined. These 6 lessons, impermanence, the mind's suffering, daily habits, approval, letting go, and time, shape the path of awakening. The Buddha taught, "The trouble is, you think you have time, but your life is happening now, not later." Let these insights guide you to live more consciously, more gently, more awake. If this message brought clarity or peace, subscribe for more Buddhist wisdom and reflections for awakening.